Okay, so if you're seeing this video right now, this means that Samsung has announced the new Galaxy Z Flip 5, the Z Fold 5, and also the Galaxy Watch 6 series of smartwatches, including the return of the rotating bezel with the new Galaxy Watch 6 Classic version. But I have to start with the one that I think is going to steal the show. This is the new Galaxy Z Flip 5, and that big boy of a screen now on the front that used to be called the cover screen. Now Samsung is calling this the Flex window because they want to flex how good this screen is. But yeah, on this new Z Flip 5, you're getting 3 times more screen area. So you can see that it kind of snakes around or bends around the camera module, but a lot of the rest of the front of this phone will be taken up by this screen, which comes in at 3.4 inches, and that's compared to the 1.9 inch screen on the Galaxy Z Flip 4 from last year. And this is a Super AMOLED display. It runs at 60 Hertz, but having all of this extra screen real estate doesn't mean anything if the software is not taking advantage of it. So let's talk about this. So I think Samsung is bringing, I think, around a dozen new widgets that you can use with this new Flex window. So you have widgets like the calendar widget where you can tap on the days and you'll be able to see any events that you have scheduled for that day. You also have a clock or like an alarm widget where you'll be able to set your alarms. And then also you have one that will allow you to set your timers. And then you also have a widget that will allow you to see the weather, and it looks very similar to the regular weather app that you'll find on the phone if you're using the big screen. And there's also a stocks widget so you can keep track of all your money going in and out. And then also you do have a widget that will help you with your fitness and help you track your steps and stuff. And then there's another widget that will be for if you are using like a pair of the Galaxy Buds earbuds, you'll be able to control them, like the noise cancellation and stuff like that, from the widget on this screen. Now, when you scroll past your last widget, you will find this screen that will be showing you some apps that you might recognize. And these apps are approved to be able to work on this screen from Samsung. And so you have Google Maps, which works pretty well. So you can pinch and zoom, activate Street View. So it works very familiar, just like the regular app. And then also you have Google Messages, you have Netflix, and also you have WhatsApp. And then you also have the YouTube app, which you might be watching this video on. So I did load up a video from Michael Fisher, who was actually next door to me filming as well. You might know him as the Mr. Mobile, but yeah, the video, you can actually make it full screen to take advantage of most of that screen real estate. And you can also pinch and zoom into the video, and then now you'll be able to take up that entire screen with the video, but it doesn't really always look that great. So you can do that. But yeah, just getting back to that previous screen, these are just a few apps that I think a lot of people want to use with this cover screen. And these are the apps that Samsung has approved to be able to show here. But what if you wanted to run all your other apps on this screen? Well, in order to do that, you will need to download the Good Lock application. Now, if you don't know what this app is made by Samsung, and this basically allows you to customize your Samsung phone. So odds are you can download this on your current Samsung phone that you're using right now. But the good thing with the Z Flip 5 is that this will allow you to run any app on this new Flex window. I keep wanting to call it the cover display, but it will allow you to run any app on this new bigger screen. Now, Samsung isn't promising that every app is going to be optimized and runs very well. So this is why they're doing this for right now with this particular application. Now, I didn't have access to this in my short time with this phone, and Samsung, I don't think they've confirmed whether or not this will be available when these phones do launch. So hopefully it will be available very soon after if it's not available on day one. But I think this is really going to be the one big selling point of this new phone, especially if you're coming from the Z Flip 4, is going to be how well you can use this outside screen. But the one thing I will say is that I do love the performance of the screen. It runs very well. The software is very responsive. And then I really do like the fact that you can pinch on the screen and you'll be able to see all of the widgets that you do have. So you don't have to swipe through all of them. You can get a really big picture of everything that you have and then select that widget that you do want to use. And of course, you still have access to your quick toggles and things from this screen. And also you still have access to your notifications as well. And oh, if you take a lot of selfies like me, this bigger screen just means that you have a bigger viewfinder or a bigger way to frame up your shot so you can really clearly see how you're going to look. So you still have that really good vertical layout that will show you the entire photo as far as how it will look, but also you can actually, zoom in a little bit to get a little bit closer up to make sure that your hair is it's not out of place or anything. But all right, let's take a break from the screen and talk about the rest of the phone. So Samsung has redesigned the hinge to allow the phone to completely fold flat now, so you don't have this gap anymore when you do have the phone closed, which aesthetically does look really good. But also this will allow the phone to be less prone to have things go inside of the screen and actually, break things and stuff. So now you'll have that gap mostly closed now with this new hinge. Now, even with this redesigned hinge, that crease is still going to be there, and this will also be the case with the Z Fold 5. And for the cameras, the megapixel count is the same coming from the Z Flip 4. So you have 10 megapixels for the selfie camera, 12 megapixels for the ultra wide, and 12 megapixels for the wide angle camera. So still no telephoto camera on the back. But with the selfie camera, it looks like it does go down to f2.2, which is an improvement from the f2.4 on the Z Flip 4. And also it does have a wider field of view coming in at 85 degrees versus the 80 degrees on the Flip 4. Now on the inside, you will find the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and also they've got rid of the 128 gigabyte storage variant. So now you just have 8 gigabytes of RAM, but either in 256 or 512 gigabyte storage. And it still has the same 3700 milliamp hour battery, and you still have wireless charging, you have wireless power share charging, and also you still have fast charging, meaning that you can get 50% of a charge in just 30 minutes. And as far as colors, this will be coming in mint, graphite, cream, and lavender, but then also you will be having some Samsung.com exclusive colors coming in with gray, blue, green, and yellow. And on paper, the specs for the bigger screen, so when you unfold it, are the same coming from the Z Flip 4. So still coming in at 6.7 inches. It is dynamic AMOLED, so it can go from 1 hertz to 120 hertz, and the pixels and all that stuff look to be the same as well. And for all of this, the price will be starting at $999 for this new Flip 5. So yeah, I think the price is still good. You're at that $1,000 price point, but we'll see the improvements from the Z Flip 4 when it comes to the software and the overall performance. And I think Samsung did mention that the cameras will be having some better low light performance. And also you'll find some type of low reflection coating that will be helping with low light shots as well. So I'll test all of that in my review. But the big thing about this Flip 5 is that outside screen. So I really can't wait to spend a lot more time with that. And all right, so now let's talk about the Z Fold 5, which is even more identical on paper to the previous generation, even compared to the Flip series that I just talked about, because the dimensions, the screen resolutions, the screen sizes, the camera specs, battery, all that stuff is practically identical. So I'm just going to be showing you some of those specs on the screen here. But one nice spec is that the main screen will be coming in at 1750 nits as far as the peak brightness, and that matches the peak brightness of the Galaxy S23 Ultra. So that is good, and this is the brightest screen that Samsung has made for a foldable phone to date. Now, the back of the Fold 5 does look very similar to the Fold 4, but one difference that I did notice was that the flash module has been moved, and you can see that change with the Fold that's on the right-hand side of the screen. And the colors that this Fold 5 will be coming in include Icy Blue, Phantom Black, and also Cream. And then for the Samsung.com exclusive colors, those will be gray and blue. And just like with the Flip 5, you do have this redesigned hinge, and you can see this side-by-side comparison with my Z Fold 4 and the Z Fold 5, how that difference really does make this look better, but also, again, it's going to be a little bit more protective for that main screen. But one of the biggest changes related to this phone actually deals with the new S Pen that Samsung has made that works with this phone, which is now going to be 40% thinner than the previous generation. So that'll be nice. And they also announced a new S Pen case to go along with this phone. But Samsung has improved the multitasking experience on this Z Fold 5. So when it comes to the taskbar at the bottom that they introduced with the Z Fold 4, you'll now be able to see up to 4 of the recent apps that you've had open. And then when you are using multi-window support and having multiple apps open at the same time, you'll now be able to drag like text and different things between these apps and different windows. And you'll also be able to use 2 hands and take advantage of the 2-handed drag and drop and different things like that, which again, I was focusing a lot on the bigger screen on the Flip 5, so I didn't really actually try any of these software features in my short time with this phone, but I will be testing those out in my full review. But yeah, that's the new Z Fold 5, and this will be having a starting price of $1799. Now, as far as the updates to the Galaxy Watch 6 lineup, let me hit those real quick. So with the Galaxy Watch 6 and also the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic, some things that are similar are going to be the fact that these will be having the Exynos W930 chip inside of them, and also 2 gigabytes of RAM and 16 gigabytes of storage. And then when it comes to battery life, if you do have the always on display on, you're looking at up to 30 hours. But if you do have that off, you will be looking up to 40 hours. Now, one thing I'm really happy with is the way that they have changed up the bands and how you take the bands on and off of the watch. So you now have this one-click method where it makes it very easy to change out bands and swap them out if you're going for a different style. So I'm very happy with that. And the selection of bands look really nice this year. So you have your leather bands, you have your metal bands, you have your fabric bands, your sports bands, and also you have these new eco bands that will be actually made a little bit out of corn and stuff. So that's really nice. But yeah, I'm liking the band selection that you do have. And Samsung has decreased the bezels around these watches, so you will find a 30% slimmer bezel, and you can really see that here with the Galaxy Watch 6. So when you look at it from the side, you can see that screen just kind of really melts into the rest of the frame of the watch, so it looks really nice. But all that stuff is good, but I really just like being able to use that rotating bezel on that Watch 6 Classic now, because it just felt really good. I just love the feeling of just rotating that physical component on it, because swiping through the screen is fine, but using that felt really nice, and it does look to be updated and sleeker and more modern than the previous version of this. And also these watches are getting bigger displays too, and these displays look really nice, and navigating the software on this screen looks really good. So they're very bright screens, very colorful, so I was very happy with that. And also some improvements on these watches will be a better sleep mode, and also you'll have some FDA certified heart rhythm tracking technology, and also you have personalized heart rate zones for runners, and also the camera controller app can switch modes and zoom in and out. And if you are using one of these watches with one of their foldable phones and you fold the phone like this and enter flex mode with the camera, it can automatically open up the camera controller app on your smartwatch, because odds are if you are doing this, you might want to place this down on the table and then walk away a little bit and get in front of the camera, and then now you can initiate the camera shutter just using the watch. So that would be fun to use. Now, as far as prices, the Galaxy Watch 6 will start at $299, and the colors it will come in include graphite and gold. And for the Watch 6 Classic, that will start at $399 for the 43mm size, and then $429 for the 47mm size. And the colors this will come in include black and silver. But yeah, Samsung is also announcing some new tablets as well. So the Tab S9 series is being announced as well. But I know the big focus I wanted to use this video for is going to be those new foldable phones, which I'm excited to get in and test out. So stay tuned for my review of the Flip 5 and also the Z Fold 5. But let me know your thoughts right now about this update from Samsung by dropping that comment down below. Give this video a like if you did like it. But like always, I do want to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.